I did go through a bit of a formal process for it. Well, good morning. I'm heading off to Dylan Camille to quickly find a housewarming gift for Fiduci and Suhul because I'm going to their place with Kevin tonight. Well, straight after. I'm basically meeting Kevin at the station and we're gonna go to Den Bosch. It's quite a ways away, Den Bosch, but 2 hours more. So, yeah, let's get it. Oh yeah, probably.
It was spicy.
Yes. Not that's not alone.
Okay. With your phalanges. It's the next morning and I've gotten a few comments lately asking if I could share the story or the experience of how I got this apartment. As for my Utrecht and my Amsterdam apartment, I know a lot of people ask about my Amsterdam apartment on my social media or just from my friends. I did just find that one on a Facebook group, so there's not much to tell there. But this one that I'm living in right now in The Hague, I did go through a bit of a formal process for it. The housing market in the Netherlands, and especially in the larger cities or in student cities, is terrible. It's really hard and it's getting even harder to find a place to live in, especially if you're a student or you're a freelancer or you have a temporary contract. Yeah, I just wanted to preface this by saying that it is much easier to find a place if you do have a permanent contract, or if you're Dutch. And I'm speaking about finding a place like with registration so that you're registered in the city and everything. But that doesn't go to say that you cannot find somewhere if you don't have a permanent contract. I'm just saying it's much easier. So I found this apartment by the normal route at the start. I browsed through Funda and Pararius. Once you're on Funda or Pararius, then you'll see an option for looking for rentals or for buying. So I would choose rent, and then you can put in the details of your budget, your city that you're looking for, certain criteria like number of bedrooms, things like that. Once you fill that in, you can always just scroll through and look at your options. Again, be very mindful of scams. Usually you can tell if it's a scam if they ask you to pay for anything before you view, or when it's just too good to be true, because the housing market right now is not too good to be true. So if anything makes you a little bit suspicious, then, you know, it's quite important to do your due diligence there. Anyways, usually after you've filled in your criteria on the filters, then there's going to be a list of houses that show up, and there will be like the first few posts or the bottom post, you can see that there are some ads. And these ads are usually placed by the big building management companies. On Pararius and Funda, they will have their own page there. So if you click on that, if you click on the ad and then like the managed by, from there you can see that they have a website, and then you go into the website and then they will have all the buildings that they manage, specifically the ones that still have units available to rent or to buy. So that's how most people will find these buildings. And then comes the tedious part. All of these big management buildings, they have a very standardized process because they manage a bunch of different buildings. So they want to make it as easy as possible for them, which makes it quite tedious for us. They ask for a whole bunch of different documents. But before you get into the documents, you usually can choose up to 6 units in the apartment that you're interested in. And then you can also opt for being open to be contacted if a similar unit is available, which I do suggest that you just take for now. Because again, the housing market is not at a place where you can just eeny meeny miny mo pick your apartment. So just check that. After that is where you have to upload your ridiculous amount of documents. You need to upload your bank statements usually, and I think that's for the last 1 or 2 or 3 months. Your most recent pay slips, and I think that's 3 months as well. A landlord statement saying that you're a good tenant, you haven't missed rent, you haven't paid rent late, and some other documents regarding your work. I think your work contract or a statement from the company, your employer, that you are an employee there. Also, of course, identification, so your passport and your residence permits. Once that's all submitted correctly, then it's just a waiting game. These building management companies, they usually allocate apartments in rounds of lottery, they call it. Whoever fulfills the requirements, they will then go into this lottery system, and I'm not quite sure what technically happens there, but by random, you will be selected if you might be selected for an apartment unit. The earliest round that I know of for this building happened in January, and that was the round that my friends got a unit in. I wasn't registered yet during that round, but obviously after a round of allocations, people will reject or accept the offer. That depends on a lot of different things. If they can muster up some less documents that are required to accept the offer or not. If they've, just lost interest or found another place to live in, that can also mean that they reject the offer. Then they do another round of allocations, and again, some people will reject, some people will accept. So then they do another round and another round, as much as it takes to fill the building. I actually did not get allocated to units on any of the rounds. I've also applied to similar systems, buildings with similar systems in Amsterdam and around The Hague as well, that I just didn't get it. And so I was kind of, I was like, yeah, I'm never gonna get it. I'm a single income tenancy, no one wants me. I had all these thoughts in my head of like, I'm just never gonna get it, In July, so that was January, that's the earliest round that I know of. In July, I received another email that was like, we have 2 units left. One of the units was just way outside of my price range. I think it was like one of the penthouses. So I was like, yeah, nope. And then the second one was one that was in my price range. So I was actually at that point, it was after a long work day. I was just defeated. I didn't want to get rejected again. So I was with Kevin at the time, and I said, I'm not going to apply for it. I'm just way too tired, because every time you apply, you have to re-upload your latest pay slips and this and that. So I just didn't want to do it. Kevin did say, babe, why don't you try one more time? So I eventually did apply. Actually, 3 days later after that, they said, they sent a congratulations email saying that I got the unit. So then after that, I had to secure a housing permit from the city of The Hague, like the municipality of The Hague. Yeah, I think that was it. I just had to sign a contract, saying I agreed to all of the terms and conditions. They gave me the requirements for the floors and everything. I don't know if you watched any of my move-in vlogs, but I did my own floors. So floors also had some requirements for soundproofing and things like that. After that, that was just a waiting game to move in. I got my key September 18th. I went straight into painting the place, getting the lights up, because if you've seen my move-in vlogs, it didn't come with lights either. So I had to put in the lights and then the floors as well. And here we are now, still trying to furnish the goddamn place. But yeah, anyways, I hope that was helpful. And let me know if you have any more questions about the topic. Just leave me a comment below. I am now going to go on a walk with Taco, which is a dog that I dog sit with Kevin and his owner today at the forest, just like around the corner. So I'm going to do that now. And then go get a skin treatment, because I've been doing that because I'm on another bespoke program with the facialist that I met last year. I really like her. I think she's improved my skin quite a bit. So I'm gonna continue to see her this year in prep for the wedding as well. And yeah, enjoy the rest of my vlog. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, I got get into the lake.
Uh-oh.
Jatuh.
Oh, they're a bit scary.
Takut.